Hey man, this is Mark Two Shop Johnson. Send a shout out to Jay Calderon, Boxing Talk.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Jay Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment, and we're about to get into this week's Boxing Talk. We're going to do a quick recap over the women's middleweight fights that took place this past weekend. First up, WBC and WBO middleweight champion Christina Lady Hammer took on former women's world champion Tori Nelson. This was Christina Hammer's 23rd professional fight, and it was the first time she ever fought in the United States. She made her U.S. debut on Showtime Television Network, and she put on an impressive performance against Nelson. She came out there showing some very good fundamental boxing skills. Christina Hammer is a very technically sound boxer. She controlled the distance of this fight between Nelson and her, using that beautiful jab and setting up her punches very nicely with that straight right hand. She was very dominant in this fight, landing some good shots, but you could tell that she's not a big knockout puncher. She's a very tall, rangy fighter, using her height and her reach to create that distance, controlling the fight with that jab and really working those combinations with some good defensive skills. She has solid defense, and she really put on a very good show against a tough game fighter in Tori Nelson, because Nelson, she's a former world champion. She might be smaller than these women, but she put up a good fight against Claressa Shields when she moved up all the way to the super middleweight division for that title shot opportunity and lost the decision against her too. This girl has a very good chin. She could take a shot, and she likes to fight, but Lady Hammer was not having none of that. She used her size advantage, and she showed that she is very skilled in her craft, because she is one of the best female boxers of today. She's been a world champion now for over 8 years, and she's defended that title 11 times at 160 pounds. She is the king of the middleweight division and a unified champion. Now she looks forward to the big showdown against the winner of the main event fight, and that was unified super middleweight champion, two-time Olympic gold medalist Claressa Shields, who dropped down to the middleweight division of 160 pounds to take on unified junior middleweight champion Hanna Gabriels, who moved up in weight to the middleweight division as well to fight for the vacant title of the IBF and WBA titles that were up for grabs. This was a very good fight. This fight started off very fast-paced. Gabriels came right at Shields and caught her with a beautiful combination of an uppercut and a left hand that dropped Claressa Shields for the first time in her career to the canvas. This was just her 6th professional fight, and she rose to the occasions. Once she knocked down, you could see the emotion running through her. She looked a little bit embarrassed because she was fighting in front of her hometown, but she got right back up and she got right back into this fight, showing the heart of a true champion. She went in there and she came right after the smaller fighter and Hannah. She put down a beating because she was landing some hard ripping shots, and you got to give it up to Gabriels, because Gabriels has a very good chin. She took some really big hard-hitting shots, and she kept on fighting. She showed tremendous heart, but towards the middle of this fight, she ran out of gas. You could see that she really spent herself in that first round where she gave it her all, and then she tried to pick up the pace during the middle rounds, but it was a tough fight for her because she was winded. She was leaning up against the ropes a lot. She was taking a lot of body shots and also big head shots from Claressa Shields, who was just unloading with a lot of big bombs. But Claressa Shields has come a long way because she's improved. She's working now with a new trainer in former world champion John David Jackson, and he has done very good work with her. He's also helped guys like Sergey Kovalev, and that's what we saw from Claressa Shields. We saw an improvement. We saw her taking her time, not rushing shots, not getting too wild and crazy like she's looked like in her past. She was more settled down. She got right to work, and she started to set up those shots very nicely, getting on the inside and just loading up those bombs. Now, towards the end of the fight, you know, Gabriels showed that tremendous heart. She was still in the fight. She was still letting those hands go to Claressa Shields, who was just firing right back. This was an excellent fight, a very action-packed, exciting fight, just like the men. These women put it all on the line, and they went out on their shields as true warriors of the sport of boxing. And you got to tip your hats off to Showtime for bringing you this card, women's boxing, because a lot of people do not show women's boxing. These women do not have the opportunity that men have. But now a girl like Claressa Shields, who won the Olympic gold medal twice, the only American boxer on that U.S. Olympic team that has won a gold medal since Andre Ward, 2004, when Andre Ward won that last gold medal. But Claressa Shields put USA boxing on the map. She's one of the best amateur boxers for females, especially in the United States. And now she's a professional. In just her 6th pro fight, she has won 4 world titles in 2 different weight classes. First winning the super middleweight title just 2 fights ago, defending that title, and now moving down to the middleweight division to capture the vacant WBA and IBF unified middleweight titles, and now set herself up for a possible showdown in a super fight against Christina Lady Hammer. This is a great matchup. This is one that the boxing fans are really getting excited about. I remember growing up and watching Christina Martin, one of the best women's fighters back in the days. She was the Mike Tyson of boxing back in the 1990s, watching her on the undercards of Felix Trinidad and also Mike Tyson. This woman paved the way for all these women today to fight and get the spotlight that they deserve. Because women like Lucille Riker and Mia St. John were also out there in the boxing world, but they didn't get a lot of shine like Christina Martin did. Christina Martin really blew the door open and was a great physical fighter in there that left it all on the line, and I loved her a lot. I mean, she was a great fighter. Then you had somebody like Layla Ali, who was an outstanding fighter. You know, she was out there a public figure because of her father's name, and she put women's boxing on the map as well, and she played her part. Ann Wolfe was another tremendous female fighter that went out there and obliterated her opponent. She racked up so many world titles. Holly Holm, who racked up multiple world titles in boxing and then moved on to UFC to become a much bigger star. So watching female boxing today and watching a person like Claressa Shields really come out of the Olympics and really get that shine, to have that opportunity to put women back on top and show that they can fight as well. You know, Claressa Shields is a very good fighter. Now she's a 2-division world champion and she's ready to fight in a super fight. And I can't wait for that fight to happen because it's going to be a very big fight where a lot of people are going to tune in to watch these women. I like Christina Hammer a little bit more. She has more experience. She has the height and reach advantage. Very good, technically sound boxer. And if she proves to have a very good chin, she's going to be a very tough fight for Claressa Shields, because this fight right here against Hannah Gabriels was the toughest fight of Claressa Shields' career so far, and it's just her 6th pro fight. So for her to go into a big, meaningful fight like this against Lady Hammer, it's going to be one hell of a fight, and I can't wait. It's going to be a tough matchup, and I see that styles make fights, and let's see if Claressa Shields' style can really overcome the boxing skills and that beautiful jab that Lady Hammer possesses. If she could be able to land those big bombs and hurt Christina Hammer, it might be the end of a great reign from a world champion like Christina Hammer, who's held her title now for 8 years as one of the best in female boxing. But that's my final recap on the fights that took place this past weekend. I would like to thank everyone who's tuned into this YouTube channel right here, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. Please hit that little red subscribe button, put your email information in so you get all my notifications once I drop a new video. Also, hit that like button, that share button, drop a comment, you know, follow me on Instagram and follow me on Twitter, and join the Facebook boxing group page, all under the same name, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. I'm J. Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment. Thanks for your support, keep watching, and please subscribe.